Kobold! My belly is full of kebab.
This is Homebrew video number 5. We've covered 2 fighters, a barb, and a rogue. Now we're moving on to Monk. Compared to the other martials in 2024, Monk is in a much better position than what it was in the past. They can finally properly skirmish without running out of ki, and their resources practically almost tripled. I'm mostly happy with their base features. You do feel like a skirmisher with a kit compared to a rogue, which is only really doing 2-3 things. The problem I have with the Monk kit though is it isn't strong enough. But that's an easy fix, because we can make the subclasses stronger than the base subclasses, which is what we're gonna do today, with our bellies full of kebab.
We're power gaming.
As a bonus, we're gonna add unique mechanics to it, which adds a new playstyle to skirmishing. I want to encourage you to do spread damage more, which is usually suboptimal. Welcome to Pack Tactics! Flamethrower! 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 Flame! By the way, before we begin, just as a disclaimer in case you don't know what I'm doing, I believe all the martials in the game are too weak compared to the casters. So instead of balancing this to other martial subclasses, I'm aiming really high for the caster territory, which has an incredibly high power ceiling. That means I'll be power creeping and I'm going against normal D&D design. The positive about that is we get to innovate mechanics more, and we get to create something exciting every single time you get a subclass feature. I think that's really fun, players get excited for their progression. Hopefully we can get them to progress to the end, Now, I'm not a game designer or definitely not a good writer at all, but I do understand D&D super well and the math around it. Now let's begin. This here is the Warrior of Liquid Fire. They have discovered the secret to creating liquid fire, an alchemical substance that burns fiercely and clings to whatever it touches. This subclass was inspired by a song called Flamethrower by King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. Then I started thinking about Greek fire, and it snowballed into a monk from there.
Kobold, this sounds like an artificer.
Yeah, I can see that. But I can't make artificer for my book. The SRD doesn't allow that, and mechanically this is better suited for a monk. Here's why. First feature, Greek fire. You figured out how to weaponize liquid fire. When a creature is affected by the burning hazard through your monk features, or from an alchemist's fire, instead of rolling 1d4, roll a number d4s equal to your proficiency bonus. In addition, you can choose to make alchemist fire you throw explode in a 5-foot radius sphere. Here's a bit of a history lesson, it's quick. The Byzantine Empire used something called Greek fire to fight people. I think they just used it for ship warfare and stuff. I don't really know. But practically, it functioned like napalm. It was a secret formula which people still to this day have no idea about. We can't replicate this with the tools they had. It's a mystery. I imagine you're part of a sect of monks who do know the formula and use it for battle. That's the entire concept. And as you progress, your napalm spreads more and more and it gets deadlier. This subclass goes all in on the fire.
Kobold, what is the burning hazard? I've never heard of it before.
It's sort of like a condition. I don't really know why it's not a condition. It's a hazard. It's in the player's handbook. Here's what it says. A burning creature or object takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. As an action, you can extinguish fire on yourself by giving yourself the prone condition and rolling on the ground. The fire also goes out if it is dosed, submerged, or suffocated. So what I've created is a damage over time monk. It also boosts alchemist fire to have an AoE. Quickly on that, there is a feat you can grab in my book that makes it so you can do 1d8 fire damage and do half damage. It quadruples the throw distance of alchemist fire, and you can create alchemist fire for 1 silver. If someone throws the alchemist fire you've created, they do gain the damage bonus, but not your burning bonus. All feats I've made are gated behind level 4 martial classes. The reason for this is so I don't accidentally boost up the full casters. If this was a regular feat, necromancers and tiny servant users would be picking this up to boost their minions. I really don't want them to do that. But if the marshal chooses to boost up the minions, which wouldn't surprise me, I'm completely fine with that. Anyways, you guys get the playstyle now. Spread fire and cause burning to everyone. I have a feeling some of you guys are going to say the damage scaling isn't high enough. But the slow burn is intended. I want a dot effect. Damage over time. I don't want big damage every turn or damage now. That's why I'm keeping it low. Keep in mind, you're not concentrating on anything, and once applied, it triggers without a save. The other 3rd level feature you get is Flaming Fists. When you hit a creature with your unarmed strike, you can choose to set them ablaze by liquid fire. The creature starts burning. This is just to make it easy to dot people. And then the last 3rd level feature is Firebug. It's a ribbon feature. You gain proficiency in alchemist supplies. The 4th level feature is...
Kobold, what the heck? This subclass is so loaded!
Machines of Bone and Blood. Necro-Industrial Adventures. This is an industrial horror setting that explores the idea that wealthy necromancer barons are leading the Industrial Revolution. Zombies and skeletons will toil until their bones are no more. And if the living die, they get sent to the Fun Factory. Who knows, if you die in this campaign, you might be sent there too. But this isn't just a setting book, it's mainly a player option book with a lot of fun stuff. There's 2 new classes. Abomination is a martial class that transforms into monsters. And there's the Necromancer class, which is really fun. It's almost a full caster, but it's missing 9th level spells. What's really cool about them is you get an undead minion right at level 1. And at level 5, you get to control 2 of them. It's a streamlined progression with boosted and customizable undead, which is really fun. And of course, you get to be a necromancer at every single level, compared to the official wizard subclass. In 5e, you don't become a necromancer until like level 5 when you get animate dead, really. And guess what? This necromancer gets animate dead. Anyways, on top of this, there will be 20 plus subclasses for the base classes, like Death Hunter Ranger or Undeath Wizard. There's new species like Awakened Trees, Bonebound, Shadeborn, and much more. And of course, there's dozens of new feats, backgrounds, and magic items. The Kickstarter is live right now. I absolutely recommend you check it out. Explore the Ivory Empire and overthrow the evil bourgeoisie necromancers. If you love player options especially, this guy hands out candy, like oh my god. The Necromancer class is sick, dude. Anyways, back to the video. Now let's move on to level 6. Flamethrower. You can spend 1 focus point to cast the Burning Hand spell as a bonus action without expending a spell slot. When you do, the cone is 30 foot long and creatures start burning. You can also concentrate to keep the cone burning on the field for 1 minute. Moving through the fire is difficult terrain. When a creature enters into the fire, they will start burning. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for this spell. The damage still sucks, but I made it fun and interesting with a big cone which will spread like wildfire. Keeping the cone on the field also provides some control, which can help with skirmishing and kiting, which I think is very interesting for gameplay. Next is Hell on Earth at level 11. You can spend 3 focus points to cast Wall of Fire or Fireball as an action without expending a spell slot. When you do, creatures in the area start burning. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for these spells. This is more diversity in your kit, different types of AoEs to play with. You can zigzag Wall of Fire, you can make a straight line, you can throw Fireball. Both spells cause the burning hazard, straightforward. The other 11th level feature you get is Napalm Master. You get the homemade firebomb feat I showed before. If you have that already, you can select another feat instead. In addition, Alchemist Fire counts as a monk weapon for you. And if a creature throws an Alchemist Fire you've created, their throw distance is quadrupled and they can choose to make the Alchemist Fire they throw explode in a 5-foot radius sphere. When a creature is affected by the burning hazard through an alchemist fire you've created, instead of rolling 1d4, roll a number of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus. At level 11, I think you should be a bit nutty with things, and this is crazy with summons. Like, oh my god. You and your friends are gonna spread fire everywhere. For casters, this won't really be a replacement for cantrips, but they might help you with the spreading of burning from time to time. 5-foot radius sphere spread is quite significant. Now for the capstone. I intentionally made this a Reddit feature. I want to win them over so they'll love me for once. You can cast a 9th level fireball spell as an action without expending a spell slot. When you do, creatures in the area start burning. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for this spell. You can also concentrate to keep the sphere burning on the field for 1 minute. Moving through the fire is difficult terrain. When a creature enters into the fire, they start burning.
Kobold, you're gonna get a lot of internet points for this.
Yes, give me thousands of internet points. I don't know what to do with them, but I'll gladly take them because number go up is dopamine. But yeah, this is a separate pool of resources that's not tied to key. You guys know what's going on here. It's a boosted 9th level fireball. Fireball solves all problems, am I right? So we don't really need to do much here. I am thinking of boosting this further for even more memes, but I don't know. Now, to address the elephant in the room with this subclass, if you're fighting creatures who are immune to fire, then you're basically subclassless, unfortunately. I haven't figured out how to finagle my way around the famine besides giving you a feature that ignores the fire immunity itself. I didn't include it here in this video, it's just an idea for now. I can probably justify the liquid fire itself tearing off skin of a red dragon or whatever, but I didn't know how to write that as a mechanic. So here's where I need your feedback. All the features are basically napalm rather than normal fire. Is that a good enough justification to ignore the immunity to fire? Now, I could slap on acid, that's another option, but to me that doesn't make any sense. So please tell me in the comments what you guys would do here, because I really don't want you to enter into a fight and be subclassless. Anyways, that's it. End the video. If you like this video and want to see this book become real, consider donating to my Patreon. That way we can get a bunch of art for this book. That's the phase I'm at right now. I can draw, but I don't have the skills to draw a book cover or something professional like this. I draw like a 12-year-old. Also, don't forget to check out Machines of Bone and Blood, Necro-Industrial Adventures. It's live right now on Kickstarter, man. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye-bye!